Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to a video guide for Grux for Paragon version 42.1. Grux is a great hero. He's primarily focused on as a jungler, but he can also be a very good offlaner as well. I like to play Grux quite tanky, and so here is my deck for tank jungle Grux. Now, we're going to sort this by cost. Yep, that's sorted already, so let's get into the build. Early game hand. Your early game cards are Lamplighter, Quainmaster, and Green Spring. Lamplighter is your ward, and it's important to have a ward in this current meta because it is a shadow play meta. And now we also have Quainmaster. Quainmaster gives you 8 bonus gold every 10 seconds. Very important for a hero who's going to be spending more time in the jungle and rotating lanes than actually staying in lane and leveling up. And while you're out of battle, you get 16 bonus gold instead of 8, which is nice because you are going to be roaming a lot around the map. Once you get free vitality, you also then go to Green Spring. This gives you 20 basic armor and regenerative rest, 8.4 health regen. This is nice because if you need to go into a lane, you have some armor to tank with, and then if you say need to cover a lane while someone goes back to base, you can use the opportunity to take a break and get some health regen in you when you aren't attacking. So yeah, that's your early game hand. Now, the great thing about being with the growth affinity is your growth cultivate cards. Flame of Second is one of your mid game cards, and when how it works is it does 500 true damage to neutral or enemy minions. You want to build up this card, and every time you use the card you get 150 extra damage. So it's 500, 650, 800, 950, and so on and so forth. It builds up indefinitely, and you want to build it up ASAP as often as you can. Just pop any minion you see. Now the real reason why you want this card is for 2 reasons. One, the card has a cultivate effect, and every time you purchase an attribute, this card's cost is reduced by 500. So when you purchase 4 attributes, you can get this card for free. That's great because you can put those points elsewhere and then also get a free card that doesn't cost you anything. That's great. Second of all, this card is really great against camps such as Green Buff, Raptors, and Orb Prime. This card is going to stay with me from my early game towards my mid game until we can start contesting Orb Prime, and by then it should be able to do at least 2,000 to 3,000 damage, and that really helps with even stealing Orb Prime if say the other team is going for it. So Flame of Second is a great card. The next card which we're going to grab is another freebie card called Growth Totem. Again, same as Cultivate effect, is reduced by 500, so when you get 9 attribute points, you can put those points elsewhere and then you can buy this card, and this card gives you the effect of Grow. Gain 0.8 power and 15 max health every minute. This effect has no limit. This is really nice. The power and the health allows you to be a bit more tanky, and it's one of the best tanky cards in the early game, and as long as you hold on to it, you're going to just keep on growing every single minute. Now, like I said, while we're grabbing Flame of Second and Growth Totem, we want to put these vitality points elsewhere, and so we're continuing to level vitality, and the next card we're going to get is Vital Waters. Vital Waters effect isn't really helpful for Grux unless you've got a healer on your team. That's not why you buy it. You buy it for the 325 extra health and the 6.6 health regen because it helps it to be a bit more tanky, and at this point, by the time you have this card, you should be team fighting and helping out with that if possible. So this gives you a way just to throw your points into something so you get extra value out of your points. Now, once we get to 13 attribute points, we are going to go for Godmother Vigilant. Godmother Vigilant is one of the best cards in the game. It is so good. Godmother Vigilant increases your power by 15, health by 565, and increases your maximum health by 15%. When you have this card on, you will start off with about 3,000 health. Then later on in the game, as you buy more and more attributes and you keep increasing your max health, you will easily get to around 4k health. This card also has an elevate effect, and if you want to, you can use it as your only card in your hand, take off every other card, and you'll get the elevate effect of increasing max health by 1% per attribute point purchased. And in the late game, I could have around 8,000 health, no problem with this card. It's such a good card. It just increases your health quite a lot. The only downside to this card is by focusing so much on health, you're not really doing a lot of damage, but your health is your damage. By being sustainable, you're going to do enough health over time in order to kill your foes, so just make sure you can control them very well. Now, once you have Godmother Vigilant, Flame of Second, and Growth Totem in your hand. You're going to kind of hold onto those cards for a while. You're going to hold onto those cards until you build 25 fit and unlock your higher level gems. And once you've done that, then you're going to transition into a more late game hand. And the late game hand is, as a variety, there's a bit of a mixture to it. The two must-haves are Unbroken Spirit and Yomi Guardian. Unbroken Spirit is mostly, it's great effects as well, but mostly is for the health, the power, and the ability armor, which is very, very useful. And by that point, you need 3 agility as well as all those vitality points you've built up so far in order to buy it. And it also has the effect of reactive regeneration. And every time you are hit by hard crowd control, whether it's a stun, whether it's a root, anything that basically stops you from playing, then you start to heal for 3% of your maximum health. And with cards like Godmother Vigilant increasing your health by so much, that's a lot of healing that you receive. So it's a very good card. Next card is Yomi Guardian. Yomi Guardian is like a partner to Unbroken Spirit. Yomi Guardian gives you power, health, and basic damage, basic armor. The effect isn't great, but it can be helpful for pushing, and that's just area defense. Nearby allied units gain 100% chance of block 50 basic damage for 8 seconds. It's not amazing, but the stats on it are, so I'd probably grab this card. And then you can go one of 2 ways. You can either A, go full damage and buy Knight of Assure. Knight of Assure requires 13 agility, and that gives you a ton of damage, and it is the damage version of Bombard Vigilant. It just gives you loads and loads of damage, and so that way you can become a bit more of a bruiser. Or if you want a bit more balance and a bit more defense, go for Sacred Alchemy. Sacred Alchemy gives you a shield based on 20% of the basic damage you deal. This card was nerfed in this update patch. It no longer works at all prime, so you can't get a shield off of that, but otherwise, anytime you do basic damage, you get a free shield, so it makes you a bit more sustainable, whilst also giving you attack speed, and power, and health. And that's it. That's how this card that basically works. Let's move on to gems. So the gems, main set is for vitality. First we get jungle lifesteal in order to be sustainable in the jungle. Then we get damage reduction for tankiness, reducing your basic damage by 10%. Then we get damage return. Returns 10% of basic damage taken. So anytime you are tanking, your opponent is taking more damage. I don't know why there's the attack gem. It should really be the health one, and that was not fair. Reflex and Purify. This is like Unbroken Spirit, but also for your gem version. After you take 300 damage, you purify yourself, which means you get rid of any debuffs you have. So if you're in a team fight and you're taking a lot of damage, you will just automatically get rid of those bad buffs, debuffs. Or an Armor Aura gives your allies and yourself basic armor increased by 12, and it reduces enemy unit armor by basic armor by 12. It doesn't affect enemy heroes, but just their minions. So keep that in mind. And the final gem is in agility, is into lifesteal, so that you get a bit more sustainability and more health as you are attacking your opponents. And that's the deck. Feel free to try it. Let me know what you think of the build. I think it works really, really well. I'm going to put some gameplay video of myself using this one. Hopefully it's good. Otherwise, I'll try my best to show it off. But this is a really, really good tanky build. And feel free to try this on other similar heroes. I think this also works quite well on heroes like Steel. That works well for him, so feel free to mix and match with this deck there. Thank you guys for tuning into this deck building guide for Grux, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. If so, let me know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And if you want to play Paragon with me sometime, feel free to add me to PSN, Diano's Play, and hopefully you will subscribe for more future videos. Thank you for tuning in, and take care.